Hey, how's it going? Dylan here. Today we're going to be chatting about Matt Groening's new Netflix original series, Disenchantment. Netflix were kind enough to provide me with the first 2 episodes of this, I believe, 10-episode series, which is premiering on August 17th. So thank you very much to Netflix, as always, for providing me with these screeners. I sat down and watched these over the past week, spread out a bit. So Disenchantment follows 3 kind of characters with one that's kind of the main focus of the story. You have the princess named Bean, or nicknamed Bean, who is kind of portrayed as the main character, at least in the first 2 episodes. And then she has 2 kind of almost also lead characters with slightly less lead time than her. You've got Elfo the elf, which is who is an elf, obviously. Basically, you also have a demon called Lucy, who quite often gets mistaken as a cat, to be honest, which is great fun. So the basic premise of the story, without going into spoiler territory, these 3 characters start out very far apart, and through a series of incidents, they form together as kind of like a little friends group of sorts. Now, obviously, this is a new Matt Groening series, and lots of people are kind of curious about this series and how it's going to look and feel, which I was curious myself. And I'm reporting back with this review in terms that this seems a lot more similar to Futurama than The Simpsons, which I really think is a kind of a good thing. I kind of prefer that kind of humour that they include in there. I'm still a fan of The Simpsons as well, but Futurama definitely feels a bit more my style, and this kind of follows on from that. Obviously, instead of being set in the future, this is set in the Middle Ages. So there's lots of fun material to kind of draw humour from, Game of Thrones references, etc. All those great old fantasy tropes and things like that. The series itself is usually 2D animation with some 3D elements, just like with Futurama. So it definitely shares a similar style there. Like obviously the way people are drawn and characters are similar to The Simpsons and Futurama in general. And the voice cast is very similar as well. You'll probably hear a few familiar voices from those series, and also some other familiar voices that fans will probably point out, and there's a few there that you kind of have voices where you'll know instantly who that is. For the most part, the humour in this series, or at least in the 2 episodes that I have seen, is fairly good and hits most of the time. I feel like it could be a little bit funnier, but it may well get that way in the later episodes. Obviously, the first 2 episodes are kind of setting everything up for the series. There are some great kind of cutaway humour moments, which I love the way they do that kind of thing in the vein of Futurama, and like Family Guy does it as well. So definitely enjoyed that, and some of the sarcastic humour in this is also really well done. It's got a bit of an interesting theme song as well, which I think will probably grow on me after hearing it only 2 times. It's kind of strange, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely looks like an interesting series, and I am looking forward to viewing the rest of the episodes. I think Matt Groening's probably got a winner here on Netflix. The animation's really high quality, everything looks great, humor's good, the story is interesting, it plays off of all of the well-known tropes of the Middle Ages, and pop culture at the moment is really obsessed with the Middle Ages, so it kind of makes sense timing-wise. I still kind of missed the sci-fi-ness of Futurama, obviously. I always prefer kind of futuristic stuff to medieval stuff. But this show definitely works, and I'm looking forward to the next episodes. So definitely go check it out. It comes out on August the 17th on Netflix as a Netflix original worldwide, I believe. And it'll be premiering with 10 episodes. Thank you again to Netflix for letting me have access to 2 of the screeners for episodes 1 and 2, and letting me do this review. So I hope you enjoyed my short, quick review of Disenchantment from Matt Groening and Netflix. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit me up in the comments or on Twitter. Always open for a chat about movies, life, anything, suggestions on what to watch, etc. Sorry about not being on camera for this video, but I decided to get it out as soon as possible so that it was up for the embargo lifting. Till next time, take care.